Hello again, welcome to the Neofit Realski Real Estate Breakdown. I'm going to share with you the reasons why many people are moving here to the Vetrino Municipality in the Varna region of Bulgaria in order to have a much more peaceful, calm type of living. I'll walk you through the types of properties that we've purchased in the village of Neofit Realski 6 years ago, which allowed for us to reform the whole place and make it an architectural masterpiece with houses that have a lot of art installed in them and with materials that are absolutely natural and allow for people to have a healthy way of living with spacious yards, with many opportunities for children to grow in a good community, in a good environment, and once again to prosper in a place here in the European Union, in a member state of Bulgaria, in this case, in the Vetrino Municipality. Now, who are we? We're practically a young organization that has been working through a lot of methods to educate people on the topics of finances, investing, real estate, and also to unite around a big project called Historical Park here in the town of Neofit Realski, next to the Varna airport, which allowed for us as a community to create one of the best thriving municipalities in the whole country of Bulgaria. Considering in Bulgaria we have around 264 municipalities, a lot of them are pretty much depopulated. So we decided to follow specific steps and systems to fully develop and create an opportunity for the Vetrino Municipality to become one of the most sustainable and, how do I say it, places to have opportunities and a lot of space for growth and a lot of space for innovations, for freedom. And what we do is we offer the opportunity for people to participate into the construction as investors, also into the purchasing of homes in the area, and also being part of the community that would allow, no matter from which country you are, from what religion you are, to live in a great community where we support each other. And we have two industries here that are main as a focus of the municipality, with tourism being one of it and agriculture being the second one. And of course, working from home and organizing events, which is part of the tourism section of things, allows for us to give a lot of work to people that are locals and people that are coming from the big city of Varna, and to also allow for young people to intern here, whether it's being interpreters, whether it's being tour guides, whether it's being presenters, and people that would love to give a great time to the groups that visit us, whether it's travel groups, whether it's company events, whether it's corporate events. And that allows for us to create this resort, which is solely focused on creating great value to absolutely everyone that visits us. Now, we have a great opportunity for people that are abroad and are seeking a way to actually leave the so-called oppressed state in which their countries have currently turned into, and allow for people to feel more freedom, an opportunity to be calm, relaxed, be away from criminals, since we've created a system that eliminates crime in the Vetrino Municipality and allows for good ways for us to communicate and cooperate and collaborate between each other, so that children can grow up in a healthy and a smart environment, have a lot of activities while they're growing up, while they're studying in the main school, and to also have that chance for people to develop themselves, even internationally, since we have international groups that come here as well. Our real estate strategy has turned into a very successful model, since every single town, every single area that we've purchased is a strategic one, because around the different natural resources that we have here, we have decided to create opportunities for tourism, for lodging, and also for development of smaller and medium-sized businesses. Now, what we do when it comes to our construction strategy is we've decided to close the whole cycle, to give the person that wants to purchase a house or even a complex here in the Vetrino Municipality, which we've renamed for the internationals into the Demopoly area, with 6 steps that give a person the opportunity not to have to think about everything in Bulgaria, like documents, who to talk to, what to look out for, underground or underwater rocks that could become pitfalls and things like that. So we've done a lot of our homework beforehand when we purchased all of the housing in the past. With housing, I mean the older houses that were prepared to be torn down, recycled, and turned into new houses. So what we've done is practically we've purchased 85% of all of the properties in the Vetrino Municipality, specifically for one village called Vetrino. We have hundreds of other properties outside of this village in the other villages in the area. Yet for Vetrino, we've decided to turn it into a masterpiece, Swiss type of village with architecture for each one of the houses, which complements all the other houses in a Bulgarian Byzantine style, in a early Roman Thracian style. So you'll see just in a few seconds the types of houses that we've built and the types of houses we have planned for the future. Now, what's good about our organization is that we can show you and give you accountability for every single step of the work that we've done. We have a lot of Telegram, Viber, Facebook, and YouTube platforms that allow for people to see videos and photos of each and every project and the progress for it. Our municipality, since we work very closely with the administration here in the municipality, council members, and also the mayors and everyone else, they help us with the documentation. So the bureaucracy here is very limited, but it allows for us to get things done a lot faster. Very close nearby, we have a notary service, which is 10 minutes away. Instead of going to Varna, we do our notary services in the Provadia region, which is, like I said, 10 minutes away. And since we're in a smaller municipality, fees and taxes are a bit different than the ones in the big cities compared to Varna, which could have taxes that can go up to like 5% of any purchase deal. Here we can, and that's just local city tax, without counting the notary fees, without counting the agency fees and everything else. So here we have another good opportunity, because for people that are looking for tax havens and places to put their money in, this is definitely a great place, since purchasing property here wouldn't give you that much of a taxes and fee issue. So that is why here we have, just to lay it out there, when you purchase real estate, some of the times when it's from a physical, which means like an individual, you don't have the VAT, which is the value added tax. Yet when you're purchasing from a company, if that company has more than 50,000 up to 80,000 euro revenue for the year, they're going to be obligated to add 20% towards the end final price of the property. So when it comes to the properties that we have here, most of them will be with the value added tax. Some will not be with the value added tax. But the good news is that when you speak to our representatives, we can give you a final price for the different opportunities, whether it's you're buying just a land piece, which is a plot of land in one of the villages, whether it's going to be a project, which is the land piece plus a house on top of it in a specific way, or if it's a already built house, which is ready for sale, so that you could acquire it, and what are the steps in order for you to acquire it. Now, the landscaping is something that we've perfected due to the fact that we've built the historical park here a little while back in 2019, and we have phenomenal landscapers that help with the gardening, that help with everything else. So that is part of the deal. When you purchase a home, you have your grass and lawn and everything taken care of, and you can also design with the landscaping team what kind of trees, bushes, and areas you would like to put in the actual yards that you have. And of course, finishing works and furnishing is part of our mastery, since we really want to bank on high quality furniture, which is not IKEA based, which is low quality. Nothing to say against IKEA or such types of furniture, but we're mostly focused on having internal or furniture that's going to last at least 50, 60 to 100 years. So that's why we use, for example, like this table, we use massive wood that would allow for people to reuse it for decades ahead of time. The vision for our resorts of Neofit-Rilski is for all the houses to be in medieval and antique styles. This definitely would turn our amazing small little village into a masterpiece, like the pearl, the gem of Bulgaria and of the Balkans here. So the great news is that Bulgaria is a bit unknown to Europeans, and at the same time it's a bit exotic, and at the same time it's safe since it's already a member state of the European Union. We use only natural materials, like I mentioned, that would improve a person's health, considering that nowadays when they built with plastic, when they use low quality materials, the houses start containing mold in places which there's more moisture. While with our houses, we tend to use stone, marble, wood, and very smart types of materials that are for the inside walls that are antibacterial. So that way the inhabitants of the actual houses and the children, of course, would have a healthy environment in which they would live in. And that also gives a really unique style when you use natural materials. The region is designed for families and also for the opportunity to raise children. Many of the families here have started having families and increasing the number of children because the actual conditions allow for people to not only work from home but also generate good revenue for the businesses that they have, whether it's agriculture, whether it's having a small shop, and the tourists that come and are actually a part of the whole resort help those small entrepreneurs to have good wages, good salaries, and of course generate profits for them. So that definitely gives their families a better feeling of safety, security, and their families will grow that way. Thanks to that, because people feel a lot more safe, calm, knowing there's a predictability to their profits. So we've definitely have that situation going on here. The square footage or the square meterage of our houses can vary between 120 up to 450 square meters. Usually the yards, we tend to have a minimum rule of 500 square meters for the yard, so it's not too small. And it has to be at least 3 times bigger than the house itself in the square meterage. Because here we want to make the feeling of spaciousness acceptable and also acquirable for every single person, so that the kids can have plenty of space to run and play. And then of course when you want to go outside in the yard and feel a bit of a release from burnout or a release from the overstressed day, to have such a yard and have such a spot. Now, the houses here in Neofit-Rilski and the municipality of Vetrino have definitely opened up a market, which in my personal calculations, just for the town of Neofit-Rilski, once all houses are fully completed, with an average price of 600,000 to €1,000,000, you have a market which can go up to 1 billion if these houses are produced next to one another and complement each other. Just like with some of the Swiss houses, if you go online, look at all the real estate listings, a lot of the houses there are pretty expensive because, first of all, they don't overbuild the village, which means that there's a limited capacity of houses that are allowed by the community to be built. The second thing is that the style of construction complements each and every one of the houses. So if I have an antique house and next to me I have another antique house, I'm already in a series of antique houses. Compared to having an antique house and next to it I have an old torn down house, that would immediately decrease the value of my property. Now, if I'm in a neighborhood where we have stone houses and each house is different from the other in style, but we have the same architecture, this makes us unique. So that would increase the price of each and every one of the houses because your neighbor has done a great job to build a house, which is beautiful. Now, For the opportunities of people to invest here, we have many of those lined up. Many people want to purchase homes the same way that they usually purchase apartment buildings before apartment buildings are usually created, which is off plan. When you buy off plan, you usually put a down payment on the apartment before it's even constructed, and that allows for you to get it 30 to 40% cheaper than before it's fully finished. With our houses, of course, you can put a down payment on your house to save the opportunity for you to fully pay it off, and then you can also finish it with a mortgage, whether you're an international and you want to use bank mortgages from abroad. That's option number one. While here with Bulgaria, it's a bit tricky for foreigners to get mortgages. So most of the people that are foreign usually do a payment plan for their house to fully pay it off, or they have the cash already preset. They agree on a specific price and they fully pay it. I've had Americans to fully pay a house, and I've had Americans that break down into 6, 12 payments for a house based on their personal financial plan. Now, there's also people that don't want to own a house, but they want to participate in the investing side of the construction of a house. Now, considering that the optimization of everything that we do allows for the construction companies here to build the houses, generate profit from the sale due to the contracts that they've had with their clients, then the people that enter a partnership with the construction companies could invest through loans so that the construction companies can purchase more materials, pay more workers, and at the same time to be able to create new designs, purchase new land, and keep the whole machine working. So once a house is completed, the profits for that construction company are shared with those smaller investors that poured 10, 20, 40, 50, 100,000 euro into the construction of a specific house. Because at the end, when the client purchases the house based on the preliminary contract, the construction company has already calculated how much it's going to profit from that house based on how much money it took as loans so it could purchase the materials, pay the salaries, pay the taxes, and complete the house, and then redistribute the specific returns for the investors that loan money. What's life like in Neofit Rilski? Life is really dynamic and interesting because it's like a whiteboard where you can construct, build, improve, volunteer, help in every single project that we have. And due to the fact that Historical Park is completed and it's already inviting guests and we're having more and more people come over to the Historical Park, this allows for a lot of festivals, and just like today, there's about 80 people that just arrived to have an anniversary of 160 years of the creation of one of the schools that is actually on the other side of the country. So they pre-planned this 3 months ago, and now they're here and they're celebrating their anniversary. And since we have a lot of historical reenactment festivals, we have archery tournaments, we have food festivals, falconry festivals, entrepreneurial festivals, all of these events drive people to come here and experience something like never before in a great community with great food, a great environment. And this only shows that from a place that nobody knew about, now it's one of the most famous towns in the whole country. Here are some examples of the opportunities that people can experience as activities in the historical park and the region. Now, there's a lot of positives, and I'll tell the disadvantages as well to being here. Now, first of all, our environment allows for cultural and historical tourism, have a unique style of the houses. We also have wild bird sanctuaries. We've eliminated crime when it comes to anyone trying to do drug dealing or trying to drive fast or drink and drive. That's been eliminated through the medias that we have, local social media, local media, and everything else. We work a lot with people to develop their financial literacy and also their entrepreneurial skills, due to the fact that a lot of us are personally entrepreneurs, besides the fact that some of us have regular 9-to-5 jobs. After that, we decided to actually improve our skills so that we could develop along with the people in the area. There's a lot of natural food that's been grown here for the past 6 years that has zero preservatives, zero chemicals, no pesticides, no herbicides. There's farms and greenhouses that produce seasonal vegetables that improve every single one of our households' menu. And this definitely helps us to be more lively and more healthy. So if there's any pandemics, we usually tend to be the fittest and the strongest and not give in to any types of diseases. Now, when it comes to the location, we are literally 2 minutes away from the highway called Hemus, which is the northern highway of Bulgaria. It also connects Bucharest to the Varna city here, and we're really close to the airport, literally 20 minutes away. We're 30 minutes from the Varna city center, and we're 35 minutes from the Black Sea. So it gives the opportunity for everyone that lives here to always have access to the seaside and have that space, like I said, away from the big city. We, like I mentioned earlier, have enormous potential for growth because we've focused not only on one of the villages, but all 10 villages in the Demopoly area. And to give you a better idea of all of these villages, I'll just hop over to the maps right here and give you a better idea that the Vetrino Municipality is pretty big. As you can see right here on the map, we are located down here, which is the Neofit village. It's the southeastern village, but here we have Vetrino where the high school is. It's right here, it's Vetrino. Here in Vetrino, we're not focused on building specific architectural masterpieces. Here, people can build whatever type of house they want. They can buy a plot of land, build whatever they want. Same goes for Sredno Selo, which is middle village. It's a small one. Momčilova is one of my favorites. It's a really nice one. Over here, here is Dobroplodno, which has a forest next to it with a really nice lodge. As you can see, this is the lodge. It's actually owned by us. And this lodge, actually you can see that's a photo of me when we were fixing the lodge. It's a beautiful lodge that allows for people to have a lot of freedom. We're just renovating it over here, and people can have conferences. There's a spa complex being built on the lower left. These are old photos. There's a lot of renovations being done at it currently. And now to zoom out, here there's a lot of Austrians that live in Jagnilo, about 12 families. They said that they ran away from the wind turbines. Belogradec is a Turkish village, so about 90% of the inhabitants are ethnic Turks, really nice people. Haven't seen anyone do anything negative or have any kind of tension between Bulgarians and Turks, so that's absolutely cool. Here, Mlada Gvardia is really beautiful as well. We don't have much interactions with this village. It's unique of its own. Of course, we have Nefsha. Nefsha is one of the most beautiful ones due to the fact that it has the rock monasteries with phenomenal views, like the one you can see over here. It's definitely a work of art by nature and by God. This is personally one of my favorite villages with all the rock monasteries and the eco trails that we have here. It's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. There's picnic places for people just to go and experience, have a great view and just relax, have that peace and quiet. Like I said, the eco trails lead to very beautiful places. Right here. And here we have Eagle Rock, which is another cool lodge to stay, and the Big Bulo. This is one of the most beautiful sceneries we've had ever here. Just simply phenomenal. Phenomenal spot. So yeah, the beauty of the Vetrino municipality lies within all of the differences that we have here of all of the different villages, including here we have another great little hill where people go, and usually people do a lot of off-roading in the area, and that allows for great exploration, not just here, but also in the southern bordering municipality called Provadia, with the really nice hills up here and a lot of fortresses too. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick look on those. Now, continuing on with our presentation, let me Just keep on going. Like I said, the potential is enormous here because we're only in the beginning of the development of the whole municipality. Now, for people that want to join in early, they're definitely going to be able to acquire real estate and properties at a much lower price. And don't get me wrong, Bulgaria is not what the, people have said. Like, people buy a lot of properties here, but they buy them in the wrong places. I'll explain why. Back in 2010, there was a boom of purchasing of properties from Brits. But the problem was that the Brits that were here selling these properties, they just knew what the locations were and what to sell. So it was just like buy, buy, buy. So they were just purchasing all over the place, coming here for 2 to 3 months for the summer or for the winter, and then they would leave. But when they leave, what happens is that there's marauders. There's people that are pretty criminal oriented, and they go and they just trash the house, like they steal it, they destroy it and everything else. Now, that was the big mistake that was done by the Brits and the other foreigners that came. They didn't purchase a property within an organization. So if you purchase a property which everybody protects everybody, it's not necessary for everybody to know everybody, but if they know that this person purchased from the organization, we would protect them at all costs. Like he becomes one of us, like one of the people from the organization. And that's always something that we stick for one another. We don't sell properties just to sell properties and earn profit. We want to have a long-term relationship with that specific family or person. And if they were to buy and they want to develop a business here or have raise a family here, or even add to the contribution to the organization, we're always up for it. Here are some examples of the types of houses that we make. We also have painted houses, which are from the Roman and Thracian style, and this is part of the landscaping that I've shown you. We have opportunities for medieval houses, ancient painted houses, 1-story, 2-story houses. We do a lot of handwork with all of our craftsmen, and the reason we do all this is so that people could live in a place which is not just another how do you call it, streamlined type of construction in which you can just create 50 houses and they all look the same. No, here we want to improve and introduce, just like these tables here are hand carved, and everything just makes you feel like it's something special, not just something made out of streamlining of a factory in a way. The amenities that people can enjoy are definitely having a spacious yard. Like I mentioned earlier, parking spaces, so you have no problem with the parking here. Private bathrooms, underfloor heating, which is without air conditioning. We actually do it with floor heating. And for some people that really do want to have air conditioning and choose a cheaper way to heat or to cool down their property, we also have air conditioning opportunities. For the yards, we have ryegrass on the yards, shrubs, various trees. If you want, you can get a medieval fence or a stone masonry type of wall for your house. We also add a lot of artistic light and LED lighting in the yards too. This is the inside of the painted houses, and you can see there's wood carving and marble that we use for them. Our houses are with modern appliances and at the same time artistic and very interestingly made insides. I would say the internal design of our houses definitely gives a better touch and feeling that everything complements everything with all of the patterns, shapes, and of course thinking about getting plenty of sunlight in as well.